This is Daily Dose of Daryl, entitled Pray. Many people have a hard time praying, and they turn to various means.
Okay, so this is the room where I go in the mornings, and that's the chair that I sit in the mornings. And that's the chair that I basically sit in to pray for people. Now, I'm going to talk about in this daily dose about prayer and the good prayers, the hard prayers, the easy prayers, and the different kinds of prayers. So I hope that this particular segment will shed some insight into praying. Now you'll notice I have Carolina blue on today. Did I go to Carolina? No. One of my sons did. Yep, that's not why I have it on. Because the funeral that I had today, this guy was a really big Carolina fan. Even the final song that we go out with was the Carolina fight song, Tar Heels, right? And so the reason I'm sharing this with you is in our prayer life, just like in things like this, we look to pay attention to the details. When you pay attention to the details, it lets you know that you care enough to look and to understand a person's life. And so when you're praying, you have to pay attention to the details to really know how to pray effectively. So I hope you enjoy this daily dose and that it'll be somewhat helpful in encouraging and maybe motivating you in your own prayer life. God bless you.
In the Jewish faith, Jesus had heard an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. He said, "But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you." Now, that's a hard prayer. This is the chair where I sit, my prayer chair, where I sit and pray for people. And I try to identify those that are hardest to pray for, perhaps those that have done things against me. The New Testament talks a lot about forgiving one's enemies, a noble and altruistic notion, but it's difficult. As humans, we want revenge or vindication. We don't naturally think about praying for our enemies, but Jesus commanded us to pray. A lot of religions call for that, but it's not that easy. And when you sit down in your prayer chair, that's where the rubber meets the road, as they say, and you have to get real about it. Enemies don't have to be those out to kill us. They can be a gossipy neighbor who wants to ruin your reputation, or a competitive business with cutthroat methods to put you out of business. It's natural to shy away from those who mean us harm, but if we want to walk in obedience to Jesus, we will pray for them. And so we have to go through the hard prayers also. In fact, as we pray for our enemies, we do forgive them. Matthew 5:44 says to pray for those who persecute you. In Ephesians, it tells us to treat enemies with kindness, putting away the temptations to gossip or become bitter. When we forgive those who are against us, we start to treat them differently, looking at them through the lens of compassion. Praying softens our heart as we go, and then most of all, it allows us to become more like Jesus. Just like our bodies need some good nourishment, particularly in the mornings to start the day, whether it's orange juice or hot tea or water, the nuts, the berries, and things like that, we need nutrition. Today I was able to receive some great music and also some great preaching. And then I was able to begin to prepare for a UNC fan's funeral. Now, I had to pay attention to the details, and that takes time and our investment, but I knew he was a Carolina fan. And I realized that as I got there, the family and friends needed prayer. And so I said a prayer for each one of them. And the funeral home personnel need prayer. And so it was for that. I couldn't help but chuckle at the shirts many people were wearing. And I prayed for them and the way they were reaching out. And I tried to use my grief to feel the grief of others which helps me with my prayers. And I encourage wherever you go to pray for the people where you go, whether it's your buddies at the fire station or when you go to pick up your food take out, the people that prepared that and care for you. And even if you look over and see the voters and the workers in line, pray for those people too. Certainly we need to pray for our family and our loved ones. And another time, I did hear a joke that when it's like this, you must be late because everybody's coming back on the other side. But pray for those people in those cars for their safety, and pray that they have good agendas in life. And praying is really a great way to pass a long, boring highway trip. But at the end of the day, and you start putting everything away, it's not the end of our praying. In fact, as you reflect on your day and you start to file away things and wind down, you can start to pray even more. And look at the papers that represents people's lives maybe through the year and pray for them. And then you think about the blessings you have, a belt to put on, a shirt to wear, and even being able to have enough ties to find that Carolina blue tie as you put it away. And then finally just thank God for the ability to walk as you replace those shoes, and to thank God for allowing us to be able to go. And that's certainly a blessing. I encourage each of you to reflect and pray from your heart each day and be warriors of prayer, even the hard ones and also the easy ones. This is Daily Dose of Daryl, a segment entitled Prayer. Learn that prayer is a continuous conversation with God, and we are called to pray for our enemies as well as our family and friends. I am Daryl R. Peebles. I'm an ordained minister trained in art in the fire service, and I've retired from the local church duties. Call me at 336-516-3793. Emails go to darylpeebles@gmail. Go to the website. Send letters to the box and Graham, but pray without ceasing. It will change you and maybe others too. And I know God will bless you for that. God bless you.